The Jets continue to soar, winning their 7th in a row as they sit atop the overall league standings. Hey everyone, Rob Wong, joined alongside by Scott Billeck and Ted Wyman of the Winnipeg Sun to talk all things Jets. And guys, there's plenty to talk about with this team right now. They have vaulted themselves to the top of the NHL standings for the first time in franchise history, currently on a 7-game win streak as well. Scott, we'll start with you. What have you made of this season today?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty special, I guess is kind of what you'd call it. I mean, and it's not just the wins, it's not just whatever, it's how this team's kind of getting it done, right? Like they're the best 5-on-5 team in the league. I know we'll get to special teams that haven't been there, but even some of their negatives, like those special teams, kind of end in positives at times because the special team stuff can only get better, right? So they got the best goalie in the league, in my opinion. They have the best depth in the league, in my opinion, and it's wave after wave with this team, right? Like, if it's not the first line coming at you, it's the second. If it's not the second, it's the third, and so on. And that's why this team, it's relentless. It's a relentless attack every night. And even on their bad nights, they still find ways to win. And so, we got a team that's up to 27 wins now. They've allowed 3 goals or less in 30 straight, 2 or less in 10 straight. 7-game heater, which is it matches a franchise best. And honestly, there's no kind of end in sight right now. I mean, they have a pretty good schedule through January and a pretty light schedule as well. And so, yeah, we're looking at a team that's already in prime position and is in prime position to keep, kind of pushing where they've already gotten to.
Ted, what do you think about what you've seen so far this year?
Well, they look the same every night, Rob, and that's the thing that it keeps getting mentioned during the games by the broadcasters because and that's such a key. It's like you can't you can't see holes in the team because they just play the same way all the time. They come in waves. They have 4 lines, like Scott said, that work so well. I've never seen a Jets team with a better third and fourth line. Their bottom 6 is so excellent analytically. They hem other teams in their zone. The defense just moves the puck so well, and they've got 3 strong pairings. Josh Morrissey's having an outstanding season, and it's really a great brand of hockey to watch because it's constant movement. When they get the puck in the offensive zone, it's absolutely constant movement, and you can almost smell goals coming because they get into sort of a groove throwing that puck around. And invariably, they seem to get it into the net. And again, it starts with great movement out of the back end, excellent back checking, excellent forechecking. And when you've got Connor Hellebuck in goal now, he's having a great season, great numbers. There's a lot of times when he hasn't even had to be the difference. The Jets are playing such a good defensive structure that they don't give up many goals. And that makes them incredibly hard to beat.
So you guys have talked a lot about the depth. Who are some of the guys you think that have really stepped up this year to carry the Jets on the bottom 6, both the forward lines and on defense? Scott, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I start with the fourth line because, as Ted kind of alluded to, I mean, this is a line that's playing 10 minutes a night. That's unheard of around these parts in the past. This is a team that used to just basically stash their penalty killers on the fourth line, play them 3 to 4 minutes a night, 5-on-5, and that was it. But yeah, you look at guys like Morgan Barron on the fourth line, 8 goals already this season. And then it's been a little bit about guys who've been able to step up, come into the lineup. Axel Johnson-Fialbi is one of them, and obviously Dominic Toninato now came in the lineup, went on a 4-game point streak on the time that he came into the lineup, covering off an injury for David Gustafsson. So to me, it starts on the fourth line because that fourth line has really unlocked the ability for this team to lessen the load on some of their top lines. Don't have to play them as much, keep them a little more fresh. This is a team that just came off a 6-game and 9-night stretch, and they won all 6 of those games. And they're part of the reason why they were so successful in the end there, at the end of that road trip, was because they were able to trust that fourth line a little bit more. And you look at the Adam Lowry line, it's the bottom 6. He's the team captain. They're the third line on this team, and they go out every night and basically play against the other team's best. and all they do is play on the offensive zone, which kind of tells you how they handle the other team's best for the most part. It's very much they shut them down, and they've been like basically the linchpin of this lineup this year because of how good they've been. They haven't really touched that line at all. And on nights where maybe the Jets don't have their best, that line can just be, it can basically be their first line on some nights. It can be their second line, and has been their second line on a lot of nights. So yeah, like we're talking about a bottom six that plays a lot of hockey and a lot of quality hockey. It's not just kind of throw away, shield these guys from, the opposition's best. They're playing a lot of important minutes, and they've earned the trust of the coaching staff, and that is, yeah, it's again, it's kind of funny in this city because we're kind of watching something that we haven't really seen around here. We can go back to maybe 2017, 18, but that was a different composition of a team. This one is very much depended upon on all four lines, and it really speaks to how this team can lose Cable Velarde early on in the season, Kyle Connor, who's still out. He's been out a month. He's expected to be out another month, and the team just keeps rolling. And they haven't. I mean, honestly, at times it looks like they've only gotten better through injury adversity and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's impressive to watch.
Lastly, Ted, it's pretty rare to find a team that has been playing this well with these special teams numbers that aren't as stellar. As Scott said, they're the best 5-on-5 team in the league. But when it comes to the 23rd best power play and 26th best penalty kill, what do you think have been the issues there, I guess, if there's one shortcoming of this team?
Well, honestly, both have been a lot better recently. Even in a recent game in Arizona, the Jets went 0 for 4, but they snapped the puck around in the offensive zone the entire time. They had 10 shots on goal. You're going to get some goals in those situations, but it's really been about finish for me, for the most part, at least lately. They've been moving the puck pretty well. They've been getting into the offensive zone. They've been setting up, but then they're just not finishing in those situations. It seems to me that will come. And as Scott said, those can be looked at as bright spots because if they, improve, which they absolutely should, given where they are, the Jets can only get better. And I think the penalty kill's been very strong lately. The Jets don't take a lot of penalties, Rob, and that's another thing that is extremely important for this team. I wanted to just touch a little bit on that depth issue that you talked about too. Two guys really come to mind for me, and it's Vladislav Namestnikov and Nino Niederreiter. These are two guys that the Jets acquired at the trade deadline last year and re-signed. And Namestnikov's playing second-line center. He's just been outstanding. I don't ever remember a time in his career when he was this strong. His skating's so good, his passing so good, his vision. He's just been so important and filling in a top six role when nobody expected him to. And Nino Niederreiter on that line with Adam Lowry and Mason Appleton turns that into an offensive line, but he's a very good defensive player as well. So that helps so much. And those are it's guys like that. It's that fourth line that's contributing as much as it is. It's points from the defense from guys like Morrissey, Neil Pionk, even Nate Schmidt lately. Dylan Sandberg's having a great season, as you might call him the Jets' number 5 or 6 defenseman, but he's having a great season. And those are the reasons why the power play and the penalty kill don't need to be among the best of the league, because the Jets are so great at 5-on-5 with balance all over the ice.
Yeah, hard to be unhappy with what has gone on so far this season. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Scott Billeck and Ted Wyman, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.